Module 1, Lesson 1 for General Mathematics is all about functions. Here are the objectives for this lesson. Number 1, differentiate relation and function. Number 2, define a function. Number 3, represent real-life situations using functions including piecewise function. Number 4, evaluate a function. And number 5, we're going to perform the operations on functions and composition of function. For the first objective, we're going to differentiate function and relation. First, let me read the definition of relation and function. Relation. A relation is a rule that relates values from a set of values called the domain to a second set of values called the range. A relation is also a set of ordered pairs x, y. Function. A function is a relation where each element in the domain is related to only one value in the range by some rule. A function is a set of ordered pairs x, y such that no two or more ordered pairs have the same x value but different y values. I'm going to explain first what is a relation. A relation has two sets of elements called the input and output, where the input is related to the output. This input is sometimes called as the domain or all possible values of x, while this output is the range or all values of y. This can be presented as a set of ordered pairs, table of values, a graph, a rule, or an equation. Ano naman itong function? Ang ibig sabihin ng first definition ng function dito ay sa bawat element ng input or domain, meron lang dapat siyang isang value ng output or range. So, in this example or relation number 1, it is a function. As you can see sa elements ng domain, so here, meron tayong domain, elements ng domain, na 1, 5, and 8, tig-iisa lang ang partner nila. So dito, 1, ang partner niya is B. Ang 1, yan yung input, ang output niya is B. Ang 5, na input, ang output niya is A. Ang 8 naman, ang output niya is B. Again, it is a function kasi sa bawat element ng domain, meron siyang isang value ng range or output. Ang ibig sabihin naman ng definition number 2 ng function ay sa isang set ng ordered pairs x, y, dapat once lang uulitin ang value ng x. Sa example dito, ang values ng x ay 1, 5, and 8. At ni isa sa kanila ay hindi inulit. So this is a function. For relation number 2, it is not a function. Because sa set ng ordered pairs dito, inulit ang value, ang x value na 5 ng ikadalawang beses. So dito, sa set ng ordered pairs, we have, ang domain niya is 1, 5, 5. So ang 5, twice siya inulit. Again, magiging function siya basta dapat yung x daw is once lang. Okay? Once lang. And sa mapping diagram naman dito, makikita natin na ang 5 ay may dalawang y values. Again, hindi siya function kung 2 or more ang kanyang output. So, again, function siya pag isa lang ang kanyang output. And that's it. Now, let's have an activity. We're going to identify if the following given is a function or a relation. I will give you 5 seconds to answer, or you may pause this so that you can have more time to think. First, ito, the set of ordered pairs 1, 2, 2, 5, 3, 10, and 4, 17. Function or relation? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the answer is, it's a function. Why? Kasi, ang domain or ang values ng x dito ay, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and walang inulit sa kanila. Therefore, this is a function. How about this one? Function or relation? Ito yung mga input and output. 1, so 2, 2, 4, and then 3. Ang output niya is 6. Function or relation? Timer starts now. And the answer is, of course, this is a function. Again, sa input niya, walang inulit din, and isa lang din ang kanyang output sa bawat elements ng input. How about this equation? X squared plus y squared minus 4 equals 0. Function or relation? So, pag ganito siya, equation yung given, all we have to do is to solve for y in terms of x, then make a table of values. First step, let us manipulate this equation by having the y variable in one side and the other terms on the other side of the equation. So, ang next nito is, we have y squared equals 4 minus x squared. Kasi ang goal natin, y lang ang matitira sa isang side. So, after this, para y na lang talaga ang matira dito sa isang side, we are going to get the square root of both sides. So, magiging y equals, since square root, there are two possible answers. Y equals positive negative square root of 4 minus x squared. Next step nito, yung goal natin na y lang matitira sa isang side, okay, check na. Ang next natin na step is gagawa tayo ng table of values. So, here's the table of values. Ano ang mga ilalagay natin sa x? So, nag-set ako ng mga numbers from negative 2 to 2. Kayo bahala kung anong gusto niyo mga numbers na ilalagay sa x. All we have to do is to substitute this x, yung mga x natin, sa equation para makuha natin ang value ng y. So, ang first dito, we have negative 2. Okay? Pag negative 2 daw ang value ng x dito sa equation na yan, ano ang magiging value ng y? So, pag negative 2 siya, magiging, sige, so sa loob, we have 4 minus, yung negative 2 squared, the answer is 4. So, 4 minus 4 is 0. Square root of 0 is 0. So, 0 ang sagot. Pag negative 1 naman siya, ano ang sagot? Sige. The answer is, so 4 minus negative 1 squared. So, negative 1 squared is 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. So, positive and negative square root of 3. How about pag 0 siya? Square root of 4 minus 0 squared. The answer is positive and negative 2. How about pag 1? The answer is positive and negative square root of 3. And if 2 naman, we have the value of y na 0. With this table of values, we can now identify if this equation is a function or a relation. What do you think? So, pag negative 2 siya, ang output niya is 0. Pag negative 1 ng x, ang output niya is 2. Positive and negative square root of 3. Pag 0 naman, 2 din ang kanyang output, which is, answer is positive and negative 2. Pag 1 naman, ang output niya is positive and negative, square root of 3. And pag 2 naman, ang output niya is 0. So, klarong-klaro, is it function or relation? I will give you 5 seconds to answer. So, the answer is relation. Kasi, dito pa lang sa negative 1, dalawa ang kanyang output. And sa 0 din, dalawa ang kanyang output. Okay, merong positive square root of 3, may negative square root of 3, may positive 2 and negative 2. Dito naman sa 1, may positive square root of 3 and negative square root of 3. Tigda dalawa. Again, function siya pag sa input, ang kinalabasan niya, ang output niya is only 1. Pero dito, dalawa. So, this is not a function. So, ito ay relation. What if graph naman yung given? How can we identify if this is a function or a relation? Meron tayong tinatawag na vertical line test. So, a graph represents a function if and only if no vertical line intersects the graph in more than one point. So, ibig sabihin nito, kung meron tayong graph, for example, ito, first, yan yung graph natin. Tapos, maglalagay tayo ng vertical lines, kahit saang part ng graph pa yan, okay? If sa bawat vertical lines, okay, once lang siya nag-touch sa graph, then it is a function. So, this is a function. Dito naman na graph, so maglalagay tayo ng vertical line dito. Yes, once lang siya nag-touch, pero sa ibang part ng graph, how about here? So, dito pa lang, 3 times siya nag-touch sa graph. That means this is not a function. So, again, we can identify if the graph is a function or not by the vertical line test. Let's go back to the previous graph. Let's identify kung function siya or relation. I will give you 5 seconds. So, the answer is, it's a relation, hindi siya function by using the vertical line test. Okay, so, kung dito, kung may vertical line tayo, so, imagine nyo na lang na straight yan siya, na vertical line. So, dito, once lang siya nag-touch, pero sa ibang parts ng graph, okay, twice siya nag-touch. So, it is not a function. About this one. Function or relation? 5 seconds to answer. Okay, so this is a function. Next. Function or relation, given this table of values. 5 seconds to answer. Okay, so this is a function kasi yung mga values ng x ay hindi naman inulit. So, function siya. Next topic is piecewise function. Piecewise function or compound function is a function defined by multiple subfunctions where each subfunction applies to a certain interval of the main function's domain. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, for example dito, okay, pwede daw na dalawang equation sa isang function. Okay, kaya siya nagiging compound function. So, dito din, dalawa din. Nakadepende kung saan pasok ang kanyang domain. Okay, nakadepende kung saan pasok ang kanyang domain. So, for example, dito tayo ng example. Okay, pag ang given natin na x is 1. Saan ba pasok ang 1? Sa equation number 1 or sa equation number 2? Okay, kung 1 ang given na x. So, ang x dito sa number 1, x is greater than or equal to 0. Sa second equation naman, x is less than 0. So, pag ang x natin is equal to 1, saan siya pasok? Pasok siya sa first equation kasi greater than 0 ang 1. So, pag ang ang x natin is equal to 1, ito na ang titignan natin na equation. Okay? So, kung x is 1, so 1 plus 2, so ibig sabihin f of x is equal to 3. Now, let's have more example for evaluating piecewise function. I have here, okay, itong piecewise function, 4 ang kanyang subfunctions. So, f of x is equal to 2x minus 4 if x is less than or equal to negative 2. F of x is equal to 4x plus 3 if x is greater than negative 2 but less than or equal to 0. F of x is equal to 5x if x is greater than 0 and less than or equal to 2. And f of x is equal to 22 if x is less than 2. Now, what is the value of f of x if ito yung mga x natin? Saan pasok na interval ang mga given na x? Number 1, if ang x is equal to negative 1, ano ang sagot? Okay, ang tanong, saan pasok ang negative 1? Saang subfunction siya pasok? So, dito ba sa first, sa second, okay, sa third, or sa fourth subfunction? So, tignan natin yung mga intervals kung saan pasok ang negative 1. Dito ba sa x is less than or equal to negative 2? Dito ba sa second na interval, sa third, or sa fourth? So, we have, if x is equal to negative 1, ang titignan lang natin na subfunction is yung second kasi ang negative 1 is between negative 2 and 0. So, yung second lang na subfunction ang titignan natin. So, what is the value of f of x? If x is equal to negative 1, ang gagawin lang, i-substitute natin yung negative 1 sa x, dyan sa 4x plus 3. So, magiging f of x is equal to 4 times negative 1 and then plus 3. 4 times negative 1, ang sagot is negative 4 plus 3. Anong sagot? Pag negative 4 plus 3, so the answer is negative 1. So, yan yung value ng f of x for number 1 if x is equal to negative 1. How about number 2? If x is equal to 2, saang subfunction siya pasok? So, tignan natin ang piecewise function. So, saan siya? X is equal to 2. Dito siya sa... Okay, so sa third na subfunction na f of x is equal to 5x. Substitute natin, 5 times 2, the answer is 10. So, madali lang siya. Number 3, if x is equal to 5, what is the answer? Saang interval siya pasok? Or saang subfunction siya pasok? We have f of x equals 22. So, wala naman tayong isa-substitute dito. Wala namang variable. So, automatically, the answer is 22. Number 4. If x is equal to negative 3, which subfunction siya pasok? So, negative 3. So, we have x is less than or equal to negative 2. Since less than siya sa negative 2, tignan natin ang first na subfunction. Yan lang yung titignan natin. So, we have f of x equal to 2x minus 4. Substitute negative 3 to x. So, 2 times negative 3, the answer is negative 6 minus 4. And final answer is negative 10. So, that is how you evaluate a piecewise function. Nakadepende kung saang interval siya pasok. Example problem, applying a piecewise function. Let me read. A local zoo charges admission to groups according to the following policy. Groups of fewer than 50 people are charged at the rate of 35 pesos per person, while groups of 50 or more are charged a reduced rate of 30 pesos per person. Find a mathematical model expressing the amount a group will be charged for admission as a function of its size. So dito, there's no need to answer. Ang hinahanap lang is anong equation or function or mathematical model lang. So here's the answer to the problem. Let C of X be the total admission cost charged to a group where X is the number of persons in the group. You can also use F of X as the function. Pwede ding N of X, kayo bahala kung ano yung variable na gagamitin ninyo. All you have to do is to take note of the given, and then you can now write the piecewise function. So, ang given niya is mag-charge daw ng 35 pesos if less than 50 people. And then, 30 pesos if 50 or more. Ano ngayon ang kanyang piecewise function or ang mathematical model? I will give you 10 seconds to think of the mathematical model or yung piecewise function, and then I will show the answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the answer. C of X is equal to 35x if X is greater than or equal to 0 or less than 50. And then C of X is equal to 30x if X is greater than or equal to 50. I will introduce to you another type of function. Ito yung one-to-one function. Ano ba to? It is a function in which for each value of y in the range of f, there is just one value x in the domain of f such that y is equal to f of x. So, paano ba malalaman if this function is a one-to-one function? We can use this horizontal line test. A function is one-to-one if no horizontal line intersects its graph more than. Since this is already a function, nakapasa na siya sa vertical line test. Ngayon naman, itong horizontal line test. For example, yan. So, ang graph na to is already a function by the vertical line test kasi wala namang nag-cross sa graph na more than once. So, this is already a function. And then, to identify if this is one-to-one, gagamit tayo ng horizontal line test. So, ito yung kanyang horizontal line. Sorry for that. Imagining nyo na lang na this is a straight line. So, as you can see, sa aking horizontal line, 3 times siya hindi klaro. So, ito I will use red. Okay, yan. 1, 2, and then 3. 3 times siya intersect sa graph. So, that means this is a function by vertical line test, but this is not a one-to-one function by the horizontal line test. Okay, so ano ba yung one-to-one? Ibig sabihin daw niyan, sa x, isa lang talaga ang partner niya na y. So, we have 16, meron siyang 4. Ang 4, meron siyang 2. Ang 9, meron siyang 3. So, 1 to 1. Kaya siya 1 to 1. And dito naman, this is not 1 to 1 kasi ang 3, meron siyang 9. Ang negative 2, meron siyang 4. And ang 2 din, 4 din. So, hindi pwedeng dalawa sila sa 4. So, dapat isa lang. Okay, so this is not one-to-one function. Next lesson is all about the operations on functions. Madali lang ito. So, ang gagawin lang natin, meron tayong mga given na functions. I-add lang natin, i-subtract, multiply, and divide. Operations on functions. For all the values of x for which both g of x and h of x are defined, we define the following. So, meron tayong sum, difference, product, and quotient. For sum, okay, meron tayo dito g plus h of x. Okay, it is equal to, parang dinistribute lang siya, nagiging g of x plus h of x. Pag difference naman, dito sa difference, g minus h of x is equal to g of x minus h of x. Product, g times h of x is equal to g of x times h of x. And for the quotient, g over h of x is equal to g of x over h of x, where h of x is not equal to 0 kasi magiging undefined na siya. Ang g of x and h of x natin class is given na yan siya, na function. Later, meron tayong mga examples. Ito na ang examples natin. Ang given, g of x is equal to 5x plus 1, and ang h of x naman is equal to 3x minus 2. Find, ayan, number 1. I-add lang natin kasi plus. So, g plus h of x, anong gagawin? So, ang g, kukopyahin lang natin, which is 5x plus 1. And then, mag-a-add tayo ng h. Ang h natin is 3x minus 2. So, magiging 5x plus 1. And then, plus 3x minus 2. Combining like terms, so 5x plus 3x, magiging 8x. And then, 1 minus 2, the answer is negative 1. This is the final answer, 8x minus 1. Next, number 2. Okay, yung difference naman, g minus h of x. Again, kokopyahin nyo lang siya. Lahat-lahat, yung g and then minus yung h. Ang g natin, 5x plus 1 minus yung 3x minus 2. And then, ano ang sagot? So, dito kadalasan nagkakamali yung estudyante kasi yung minus. So, dito na nagiging 5x plus 1. Yan, 5x plus 1. Pero yung minus, i-distribute natin sa bawat terms na nasa loob ng parenthesis. So, magiging minus and then 3x. Yan, minus 3x and then negative. Okay, times negative, magiging plus na yan. So, plus 2. Yan, dito kadalasan nagkakamali pag sa minus na. So, magiging 5x plus 1 minus 3x plus 2. Combining like terms, 5x minus 3, magiging 2x. And then, 1 plus 2 is positive 3. So, answer is 2x plus 3. Number 3. We have g times h of 4. So, ngayon, hindi na tayo gumamit ng variable na x. Instead, gumamit tayo ng may value na talaga yung x, which is itong 4. Now, let's solve. Okay, andyan na lahat. Ang ginawa lang is, kinopya yung g, which is 5x plus 1, and then since this is multiplication, nag-times lang tayo ng 3x minus 2. So, paano yan siya? So, para mas madali class, okay, yung x dito, gawin na nating 4 agad. Kasi instead of x, ang ginamit natin is 4. So, yan. 5 times 4, the answer is 20. And then, copy na lang yung plus 1. Next, 3 yung x dito. Okay, yung x dito gawing 4. So, 3 times 4. The answer is 12. And then, minus 2. Yan, 12 minus 2. So, 20 plus 1, the answer is 21. 12 minus 2, the answer is 10. Let's multiply. So, 21 times 10 is 210. Madali lang siya. Last example, number 4. G over h of negative 2. So, again, hindi tayo gumamit ng variable. Ang ginamit natin is yung value talaga na negative 2. So, copy natin yung g na 5x plus 1 and then divided by h, which is 3x minus 2. So, yan na. So, since hindi naman x yung ginamit natin, meron na tayong variable, substitute lang natin ang negative 2 sa x. So, magiging 5 times negative 2. The answer is negative 10. Copy lang yung 1. Negative 10 plus 1 is negative 9. Next, so 3x. 3x times negative 2, or 3 times negative 2, the answer is negative 6. Minus 2, copy lang yung negative 2. The answer is negative 8. Always, okay class, always na dapat nakasimplify yung answer natin. So dito, negative 9 divide negative 8, final answer is 9/8. Here's the last topic for this lesson. It's all about composition of functions. Composition of function is yet another method of contributing a function from two given functions. The process consists of using the range element of one function as the domain element of another function. Here's the definition of composition of functions. For the functions of f and g, the composite function or composition of f by g is given by f circle g of x is equal to g of f of x for all x in the domain of f such that f of x is in the domain of g. Para mas maintindihan ang composition of function and how to evaluate this, let's have an activity or an example. Given h of x equals x squared minus 2x minus 15 and g of x equals x plus 3. So, meron tayong dalawang given na functions. Now, number 1, we're going to evaluate h of 2. So, let's evaluate a function. Paano ito isolve? We have h of 2. Ang titignan lang natin is yung function ng h of x kasi h naman yung nakalagay dito. Magiging, let's copy h of x, x squared minus 2x minus 15. Since 2, okay, 2 ang nandito, so 2 is in the domain of h. Magiging 2 ang lahat ng x na nasa h of x. Let's substitute 2. This will become 2 squared minus 2 times 2 minus 15. What is the answer? Okay, let's simplify. We have 4 minus 4 minus 15. Final answer is negative 15. So h of 2 is equal to negative 15. Number 2. Evaluate g of negative 3. Since g na naman yung function na andito, we are going to copy g of x, which is x plus 3. Now, ang domain na nasa g is negative 3, so we are going to substitute negative 3 sa x, magiging negative 3 plus 3, so the answer is 0. Ganun lang kadali para mag-evaluate ng function. Now, dito sa number 3 and 4, ito na yung tinatawag natin na composite function or composition of function. Paano siya isolve? So, ang gagawin, like for example sa number 3, okay, yung g of x ay siyang magiging x ng h. Let me show you. So, we have h of g of x. We are going to copy, since h yung nasa outer, okay, h yung nasa outer, we are going to copy ito, yung buong function ng h. And then, lahat ng x dito sa h ay magiging yung nasa loob na g of x. So, ito ay magiging x plus 3, and itong isang x naman dito ay magiging x plus 3. Kaya siya nagiging, since x squared, so maging quantity x plus 3 squared, and then minus 2x or minus 2 times the quantity x plus 3, and then copy minus 15. Let's expand to solve. Quantity x plus 3 squared, so the answer is x squared plus 6x plus 9. Then, let's have this, multiply this, magiging negative 2 times x, so minus 2x, negative 2 times 3, so minus 6. Then copy ang minus 15. Now let's combine like terms. X squared and then 6x minus 2x, the answer is 4x. 9 minus 6 minus 15, the answer is negative 12. Ito na yung final answer, hindi na natin ma-simplify pa. So that's it. That's the answer for the question number 3, which is what is h of g of x? How about number 4? What is g of h of x? Ngayon, baliktad na naman. Yung h of x, okay, yung h of x, yung buong h of x, ang magiging x dito sa g. So, ang g natin ito, no? Ito yung g. So, lahat ng x dito ay magiging buong h of x, which is x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay, so instead of writing just x, i-copy natin yung h of x na x squared minus 2x minus 15, since ito yung domain ng g. Okay, and then copy ang plus 3. Combining like terms, we have x squared minus 2x, then negative 15 plus 3, the answer is negative 12. This is the final answer for number 4. Next, number 5 question. What is h of g of negative 3? Ang gagawin naman dito, yung negative 3, hindi na x yung nasa loob ng g. Negative 3 na. So, ang gagawin, we are going to substitute negative 3 sa x ng g. Okay? Yung answer natin sa number 2, yun na yun. And then, kung ano man ang sagot dito sa g of negative 3, yun naman yung magiging x ng h. That is how you evaluate this composition, the composite function. Okay, so we have g of negative 3 squared. So, since h yung nasa labas, kopyahin natin yung h. But instead of writing x, you're going to write g of negative 3. So, we have g of negative 3 squared minus 2 times g of negative 3 minus 15. Since meron na tayong sagot kanina sa g of negative 3, let's just copy ito, 0. So, we have 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 15. The answer is negative 15. There's also another way of solving this. Bahala kayo paano nyo isolve, basta tama lang. Because at the end of that solution, magka-come up tayo sa isang sagot lang. So there's another way. You can also use the solution in number 3. So inuna niya muna yung h of g of x bago niya sinubstitute yung 3. So ito, okay, h of g of x pwede din. Yan muna. So after natin isolve to, ito na siya, x squared plus 4x minus 12. And then substitute natin yung negative 3 sa x, which is, ayan na, negative 15 ang final answer pa rin. Same pa rin yung sagot. Number 6. Evaluate g of h of 2. So, same pa rin sa number 5 na question. Okay, let's copy g of x. Ang g of x natin is ito, x plus 3. So, yan, instead of writing x, you're going to write h of 2. Okay, h of 2 plus 3. So, ano yung h of 2? Kanina, nag-solve na tayo ng h of 2. h of 2, yan, nag-solve tayo. Ang sagot dyan is negative 15. So, negative 15 plus 3. The answer is negative 12. So, ayan. That is how you evaluate composite functions. Meron namang mga examples pa sa module and activities. You can also try solving it so that ma-practice yung solving skills ninyo. For more examples, let's have f of x equals x squared minus 3x and g of x equals 2x plus 1. Letter A, find g circle f, and letter B, find f circle g. Now let's evaluate this. Letter A, g circle f. G circle f is just equal to g of f of x. And dito naman sa letter B, f circle g is just equal to f of g of x. So let's start with letter A. G of f of x. So, ang gagawin natin, yung f of x, yan yung magiging domain ng G. Okay, so we have, ang G natin dito is 2x plus 1. So, instead of writing x, okay, ang domain natin hindi na x, kundi yung f of x na. So, let's write f of x. Ano yung value ng f of x natin? So, let's substitute. F of x natin is x squared minus 3x. Now, distribute natin yung 2. We have 2x squared minus 6x plus 1. Pwede ba pang masimplify? Hindi na pwede, so yan na yung final answer. Letter B, f circle G equals f of g of x. F of x is equal to x squared minus 3x, but instead of writing x, okay, we will have g of x kasi ito yung domain. So, we have g of x squared minus 3 times g of x. And then, let's substitute kung ano yung g of x dyan. Ilagay na natin. So, we have 2x plus 1. And then, dito naman, 2x plus 1. Instead of g of x, yan na, 2x plus 1. And then, let's expand. Para mas masimplify, expand muna natin. So, what is the quantity of 2x plus 1 squared? Okay, ang sagot dyan is 4x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 1 by using the FOIL method. And then, dito naman, distribute natin ang negative 3. So, negative 3 times 2x is minus 6x. Negative 3 times 1, so negative 3, kaya minus 3 dyan. And then, let's combine like terms. Okay, na-combine natin ng like terms. So, itong 4x squared, yan lang siya. And then, lahat ng may x, so 2x plus 2x minus 6x. The answer is negative 2x. And then, 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Meron silang common factor na 2, so pwedeng ito yung sagot. That's it. So, meron pang more examples dito. Given ang f of x equals 2x minus 7 and g of x equals 3x squared plus 2. So, medyo marami-rami and medyo mataas yung iba. Okay, you may pause this para meron kayong time to solve. You can practice sa inyo dyan. Now, isa-isahin ko na yung mga solutions sa mga problems na given a while ago. Letter A, G circle f of 3. Now, G circle f of 3 is just equal to G of f of 3. Madali lang. Ito, so ang ginawa ko, kinopya ko yung G, but instead of writing here, okay, kinopya ko siya, but instead of writing x, okay, ang ginawa ko sa x is itong 2x minus 7, but instead of writing x dito sa f of x, ginawa ko siyang 3 kasi ito yung nasa loob. Now, let's evaluate. Simplify pa natin. So, yung nasa loob ng parenthesis na 2 times 3 minus 7 is equal to negative 1. Okay, so the final answer here is 3 plus 2. So, the answer is 5. Next. Letter B. F circle G of 3C is just equal to F of G of 3C. Now, what I did is I copied 2x minus 7. But instead of writing x, I used kung ano yung nasa loob niya, since F ito, F siya, kung ano yung nasa loob niya, ang loob niya is G. So, instead of writing x, ang ginawa ko sa x is itong G. Okay? And sa G naman, okay, domain nito, ang ginamit niya is 3C. So, instead of writing x dito sa G, ginawa ko siyang 3C. So, magiging 2 times itong quantity na 3 times the quantity of 3C squared plus 2 and then minus 7. Simplify natin yung nasa loob. So, magiging itong 3C squared is magiging 9C squared na. Simplify pa talaga natin yung nasa loob. So, magiging 3 times 9 is 27, c squared, and then plus 2. Then, distribute natin yung 2. Magiging 2 times 27, 54, 54c squared, and then 2 times 2, magiging 4. And then, combining like terms. So, ito lang yung like terms, 4 minus 7. So, here is the answer, 54c squared minus 3, and then factor of 3, kasi ito yung common factor nila. Okay? Na 54 and 3. So, magiging 3 times the quantity 18x squared minus 1. Next problem. Letter C. G circle f of k plus 1. So, since G, okay, ito, G of f of k plus 1, since G naman yung nasa labas, ito yung basihan natin. Okay, ito yung pinaka nasa labas. But instead of writing x here, we're going to write 2x minus 7. But instead of writing x sa 2x minus 7, we will use k plus 1. Okay, rewrite natin lahat. So, ito na siya. Okay, ito na lahat. Instead of writing x here, ginawa siyang k plus 1. And instead of writing x here, ginawa siyang 2 times the quantity k plus 1 minus 7. So, isa-solve lang natin yan siya. Okay, distribute natin yung 2. So, magiging 2k. 2 times 1 is 2. Combine natin yung like term sa loob, which itong 2 minus 7. 2 minus 7 is minus 5 or negative 5. And then, after that, yung PEMDAS, let's just follow PEMDAS. Okay? So, 2k minus 5 squared using FOIL. Expand natin, ito yung sagot. And then, distribute naman natin yung 3 sa lahat ng terms na nasa loob ng parenthesis. Kaya magiging, ganito na siya. 12k squared minus 60k plus 75 plus 2. So, pwede pa bang masimplify? Yes. Kasi meron pang like term, 75 plus 2. So, the final answer is 12k squared minus 60k plus 77. And the last example for composite function and for this lesson, letter D, what is G circle F circle G of 2? So, medyo mataas-taas, pero kayang-kaya lang. So, ito, paano siya basahin? We have G of F of G of 2. Now, papakita ko na sa inyo. Para mas madali, ito lang yung gagawin natin. Ang ginawa ko dito, kayo bahala ano yung process ninyo, pero ito, para mas hindi complicated, ang ginawa ko, inuna ko yung pinaka nasa loob na G of 2. What is the value of G of 2? So, G of 2 here is, so kinopya ko yung G, ang G is 3x plus 2, tama? Yung dito, 3x squared plus 2 I mean. And then, substitute 2, okay, 2 sa x, so magiging 3 times 2 squared plus 2. So, isimplify natin lahat. Okay, so 2 squared is 4. Then 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. So, G of 2 is equal to 14. Ibig sabihin, dito ang sagot is 14. Now, I will solve f of 14. Step by step ang process dito. So, f of 14, so f na naman tignan natin, instead of using x here, gawin natin itong 14. Substitute 14. So, 2 times 14 minus 7, the answer is 28 minus 7, and the answer is, final answer is 21 for f of 14. So, that means, f of g of 2 is equal to 21. Now, for the last step, I will use 21 as x sa g of x. So, we have g of 21. So, instead of writing x, okay, let's substitute 21 here. So, magiging 21 dito. 21 squared. Okay, we have 441. times 441 plus 2, the answer is 1,325. So that is the answer for G circle F circle G of 2. And that ends my lesson for Module 1. I hope you learned something.